Why is the expansion of mental health and addiction services so important?
John, I have a personal investment in this. I lost a nephew, and I'm sure many of the people here that are watching me know someone who is a victim of opioid abuse or addiction. And I lost my nephew about 2 years ago now. I also have a sister that suffers from schizophrenia who's at the Arundel Lodge, which does a fabulous job in meeting the needs of that population. To me, the main challenge in this country is drug and opioid addiction. It affects every facet, and everyone watching either knows someone who's been affected by it or someone in their family has. So in our program, we take the existing addiction and mental health providers there and give them an opportunity to expand. We want them to expand. We have the Pascal Crisis Stabilization Center, which does a fabulous job, named after my former boss, County Executive Bob Pascal. There's the Hope House, Condanzia, and the Chrysalis House, which provides mental health and addiction services for women. We want to see those expanded, and this would be a great opportunity to do it at Crownsville.
Tell us about the creation of this Allied Health Park.
We have an opportunity because we have existing mental health and addiction service providers already located on the site. The state also has some services that it offers on property next to Crownsville. Our plan is to create a hub for mental health and addiction services where we would attract hospitals, psychiatric hospitals, research hospitals that are already doing work in this area and have them establish a satellite location there. And you have all this synergy that would be working together. And this Allied Health Park would be a hub for the region, for the state, and perhaps even the country until we come up with the right treatments and the right drugs to help people that are suffering with mental illness. Much of the challenges we have in life today, you see the people on the streets that have no place to live, right? And we see road rage, and we see all the disastrous effects of mental health and people not being able to get serviced by them. I'm happy to tell you that the Arundel Lodge now has on the top floor of the Sajak building a place where people can go and walk in and be treated there first before having to go to the emergency room and wait a long time in order to be evaluated. This is better. If they decide that you need to go to the emergency room, they'll send you, but we at long last have a place where anyone can come and be seen and quickly and be diagnosed and then sent to the appropriate person.
Why is a countywide vocational center needed?
We have two vocational schools in the county right now, one in North County, one in South County. The challenge is, in my opinion, the schools have not given enough emphasis to the vocational component. It's fine for those that are going to college and higher learning, and that's great. But we have a tremendous need in the county for people to take up vocations that are needed now. Plumbing, electricians, you all know what you pay for people to come. It's a great living. And not only those businesses, you have technology. You also have the people that are in the paving and the concrete business. And we recently had a shortage of school bus drivers, and there's a shortage nationally of people to drive the trucks because the people that are doing this are all getting old. And here we haven't had an opportunity in our public schools to be producing the very drivers that we needed for the shortage a few years ago. So unfortunately, in many cases, you have kids coming out of high school who have no plan. So they end up working 2 jobs, one at McDonald's, and you simply can't make it. So what we're proposing is not only for the students at the schools, but also a county-wide center, so people in their late teens, early 20s, 30s, 40s can come back to school and learn a trade. They can go into the technology sector, which is exploding. And of course, we would encourage Anne Arundel County to open up and expand their vocational component, which does a good job. So there's definitely a need, and this is county-wide. Again, we're using Crownsville for county-wide needs. Vocational is a county-wide need. I can't tell you how many people I know in the different construction business, technology, you name it, auto repair, that say we don't have people trained to do these jobs. I mean, we need people trained and they'll make a good living. So we need this vocational school very badly.
What about the need for a museum to tell the history of Crownsville?
Absolutely, absolutely. In 2008, as I said, George Phelps and his wife Marion. George had worked at Crownsville. Marion Phelps was president of the auxiliary at Crownsville. And we all have heard and now know through different books that have come out and some movies that it was a very troubled piece of our history. Back in 1910, it was the asylum for the Negro insane. There was overcrowding. Patients were mistreated. Some had experiments performed upon them against their will. And many of the people who died, they died there and they didn't even have a grave marker to say their name. They didn't know their names. And Janice Hayes Williams, who's the niece of George and Marion Phelps, has done a fabulous job in providing the research. She was also a student of mine at Annapolis High School, I might mention. But she's done a fabulous job in memorializing this. And the Crownsville Cemetery is actually not located on the Crownsville Hospital site. It's across the street on 97 where the Bacon Ridge National Park is located. But definitely in the buildings that are at Crownsville, there's several of them, historic buildings. Some of them have to be demolished. Some of them can be converted and used for the public sector and also used for a museum. So we will definitely have a museum to talk about Crownsville and other parts of the African American experience.
What do you want the county council to do with the Crownsville Hospital Memorial Park Master Plan that will come before them next year?
We are asking the county council to slow down and ask first that the administration go out and have a robust public hearings in each of the councilmatic districts: Glen Burnie, Severna Park, Pasadena, South County, West County. And let's hear from the public, what do they want to see happen to the Crownsville property? So we're asking them to slow down. We are also asking them to get a handle on the costs. Back in 2008, the cost for the different things that they wanted to improve, the asbestos, a water system, some things like that, was $25 million approximately. So that was 2008, was 14 years ago. So those costs have escalated, obviously. And the county's plan, when you look at it, there's no income generators. I mean, you're talking about parks and meadows and walking trails and things of this nature. When, just looking at it, I'm estimating you could be close to $1 billion to create this park, which how many times is it actually going to be used? We've got parks across the street, as I just said. The Bacon Ridge Park's got 1,200 acres. So the county needs to get a real handle on what are the costs. Is there a pro forma? How are we going to pay for these things? Now, because you can't put it on the taxpayers. In our plan, we are going to have income generators by having a reuse of some of the existing buildings, as well as new tenants that will move in that want to be part of this allied health park. And also, we have here in Anne Arundel County and the state of Maryland many multi-billion-dollar places, organizations that would be very interested in investing their funds to help the needy, the people that need affordable housing, or veterans, addiction, and mental health services. So the money's out there, and we would also appeal to people corporately, especially the financial institutions, which have to make an investment in these types of things. So we believe there's a way to do it, but the important thing is we have to get the vision straight. Are we going to have a passive park? Or are we going to have an area that will meet the pressing county-wide needs of its citizenry? Affordable housing, mental health and addiction services, a vocational school, creation of an allied health park, and youth opportunities. As we all know, our children are spending way too much time in front of the iPhones and TVs, and these types of sports activities build discipline and character, and they're healthy things for our youth to be involved in. So this is a direction that we are proposing we go in, and I think we will be successful.
So the answer for your next question is www.jsp-consulting.com.
I wish we could come up, let me get a pencil paper. I wish we could come up with something else like that, but it's okay. So
www.jspconsulting.com.
Okay, so it's www. Is there a dot after W?
Yeah.
www.jsp-consulting.com. Yes, that's actually okay, John. Yes, www.jsp-consulting.com. And I'm willing to give my cell phone number too.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Is there a place that people can read your full proposal and testimony before the county council?
Yes, it's www.jsp-consulting.com. Let me say it again. www.jsp-consulting.com, or they can call me personally on my cell phone at 410-212-9509.
How can the public reach you and get involved?
John, okay, let's try that one again now.
Yeah,
I think we're
going to come up with that. We can always do a new video for that.
Yeah,
because I'm going to be cutting these up into
Okay.